Well, hello, all my followers, which aren't very many. Rock by himself with the playoff picture. It's going to get real interesting in the month of December. And let's start with the NFC. Okay, Dallas probably has home field locked up. If they get upset by the Vikings tonight, they play the Giants next week. And the Giants have Pittsburgh. And this is going to be an interesting deal. I'm going to say Dallas is going to win. Giants going to have a tough one with Pittsburgh. And I predict that the Cowboys will lock up the number one seed. Let's talk about the wild cards here, okay? Seattle does have the division winning record in the weak NFC West. So they're going to be in there. I don't know who's going to get the bye. Probably Seattle, maybe Atlanta, depending on how they do. Matty Ice has been tough. Atlanta finishes with Kansas City at home, at the Rams, 49ers at home, at Carolina, and then closing with New O. Drew Brees has been hot. Okay, let's keep that in mind. All right, let's move on to Washington. Kirk Cousins is playing like a stud. 459 yards versus the Cowboys. They still lost. Washington they're at Arizona. They're at Philly. Carolina at home. At the Bears. And the last game of the year, which will be a huge one, is the Giants. I am going to think Washington will continue, and they're going to wind up in the playoffs. With the Giants playing Pittsburgh, Cowboys, Lions at home, at Philly, at Wash. Even though the Giants are 8-3, maybe not. Tampa Bay, here's my long shot pick, okay? They beat Kansas City in Kansas City. I think Kansas City had won 16 straight home games or something like that. Anyway, Tampa beat them, and they beat them good. It wasn't a fluke. All the stats were for Tampa. Tampa last week slammed Russell Wilson for 6 sacks. Yeah, they were at home and this and that, but Tampa's got a tough row. They're at San Diego. They're home against New Orleans, and they're at Dallas, at New Orleans, and then Carolina at home. Prediction here, if Tampa Bay wins out, they may win the Super Bowl. Yeah, right. Okay, moving on to the AFC. Okay, New England pretty much has home field, although Oakland is creeping right up on them. They both have 2 losses. Brady and Edelman and Zonk are all questionable. Belichick, they're playing the Rams. They finish, they're probably going to have the bye. They may not have the number one seed, but they'll have the bye. Okay? Pittsburgh, they got the Giants. They're at Buffalo. They're at Cincy. They're home versus the Ravens. Then a cakewalk, the Cleveland Browns. I love Mike Tomlin. I think they can get there. I think that they'll beat the Giants, but not cover this weekend. So who does that leave? Houston? Not. Tennessee? Denver's the real big question mark. Simeon is marginal. They can't put the ball in the end zone. They outgained Kansas City last week by 200 yards, but they can't score. So Denver's kind of a question mark. They might get in, but you just don't know. Now Miami, who's won 6 in a row, is at Baltimore. Then they're at home versus Arizona. They're on the road against the Jets. They're at the Bills, and they're home against New England. Fortunately, that's the last game of the year, and New England may not need to win. I'm going to say that right now Miami gets in the playoffs, okay? Uh, are there any other surprises? Yeah, Kansas City. I don't think they're going to make it, even though they're 8-3. They have. They're at Atlanta. Matty Ice. I mean, Kansas City's been whooped up on the last two games. Even though they beat Denver, they were outgained by 200 yards. Okay, Matty Ice knows how to put the ball in the end zone as opposed to Simeon and Denver. Then Kansas City also has the Titans at home. Should be a win. Then they they host Denver, and then they're at San Diego. Now San Diego has a lot of pride. I don't see Denver making the playoffs. So moving on, okay? Moving on. I see the Cowboys with the number 1 seed. I see Seattle with the number 2 seed. I see the Giants sneaking into the playoffs. Washington sneaking into the playoffs. But if either one of these teams falters, Tampa Bay is going to be right there. And that's like, what am I, stupid? Anyway, in the AFC, New England, Belichick, all the playoff experience, Tom Pretty Boy Brady, you got to figure they're going to be there. Derek Carr, the Raiders, tough, okay? Not enough playoff experience. Home field will be a big factor here. I don't see Seattle doing much. I'm sorry, they may lose the wild card game, even though they will be at home and they will have a bye. Anyway, so if you want to know what I think, and who cares, Atlanta falters, Tampa Bay excels. The Washington Redskins, Kirk Cousins, they excel. I think they'll weasel in over the Giants. I'm really pulling for Tampa Bay. And the Cowboys, with home field, bless their hearts, go to the Super Bowl. They beat Seattle if Seattle makes it through. And in the AFC, God, I just don't like Bill Belichick. Pretty Boy Tom's not one of my favorites. But who could win there? Oakland. Pittsburgh, if they win out, Mike Tomlin, Ben, and Antonio Brown and Bell, Pittsburgh has a chance. They've got a lot of experience. As I mentioned, I don't see Kansas City doing anything. Miami is going to maybe win a playoff game, but I think the Super Bowl is going to be between the Dallas Dak boys and, let's make a pick here. Let's go out on a limb. Let's go take Pittsburgh. They can win in New England. They have before. And so the final score of the Super Bowl will be Dallas 31, Pittsburgh 24. That's it for me. Ha ha. Have a nice day.